Okay, so I'm going to assume we're live because the notification said so. And yeah, I had to throw this on because it's actually temperatures dropped like 6 degrees in the past 10 minutes, which I'm not complaining about. But yeah, folks, hope everybody's doing well. Um, what an episode. I will admit though, I was not too fond of the opening. Sabrina got on my last nerves within the first the first 10 minutes. It was nonstop. Yo, somebody get Sabrina up out of here. I cannot deal with her tonight. Sabrina, as usual, the Sabrina rich crap that was the downside of the episode. But overall, I think I think the MVP is DeVal, though. I got to give him the award. I think DeVal, Zach was the MVP of the episode, acting wise and whatnot. And of course, Ebony, phenomenal job. Third episode in a row. But yeah, I got to give Zach his props and just due because he really came through in this episode. He really did. But okay, we're going to let some more people come in. I don't know if notifications went out. So I will definitely say, if not for like the back half of the episode, I was really looking at maybe a 5 or a 6 because I'm like, bro, how much of this Sabrina bull crap is going to take over the episode? Because, I've been very, very understanding of the way the characters have been written, such as, Sabrina, panicking, Andy being level-headed and trying to look at things from the legal perspective, Fatima and Danny, doing what needs to be done aggressively to get somebody to actually give a crap about their hurting friend. But tonight, Sabrina was just on that, I need to go back in there. They just told you behind to get up out the room. They need to do the C-section. But everything else was great. Yeah, been back, every week, every Wednesday. I'm over here. Episode airs, and I do my live streams. I mean, I only got like half a page of notes, a little over half, just because these hospital episodes, there's really not much to write. But then again, I like how these string of episodes have been less show and more substance. I can't lie. I did watch the end credit promo, not the trailer for next week. I haven't seen that yet. The 30-second trailer that usually airs during commercial breaks after the episode airs. So in the next show that comes on right after Sistas, why do they got to have Pam be the person to trigger Karen next week? Because, people are asking for the past like couple episodes, hey, where's Pam at? She needs to be at the hospital. Yet Karen gets home looking like hell. And what's the first thing she sees? Pam saying, let me see those babies. And it's not her fault. It is not her fault. But you would have thought one of the girls would have reached out to Pam. Anybody. Dang. Hate that. Karen, well, to be fair, Karen, Pam doesn't know. And that's what's tripping me out. Like, so nobody calls Pam to come to the hospital, and nobody calls Pam about, okay, I will respect the fact that the girls figured it would be Karen, it would be her, as opposed to it's not their place to say, oh, she lost one of the babies, so man, they don't like Pam. It's always that one person that's coolest. Are you referring to Pam or Sabrina? Pam at least has the excuse of nobody reached out to her and let her know a dang thing. Oh yeah, we got 150 some people. How y'all doing? If you didn't know, I gave the episode 8 out of 10. I was leaning towards like a 6 because of Sabrina, but the acting in the back half and also of the baby she lost. The one I'm actually surprised they let her, they showed us her holding that baby. Did she say Forever Taylor? I went back and I listened to it like 3 times, but I couldn't make out what it was. You know, it's always the episode was not as good as last week. Yeah. Well, Wall 48. Let me put it this way: the Sabrina and all that crap brought the episode down, but everything else pertaining to the episode lifted it up. Okay, y'all said Forever Taylor. Got you. I wanted to make sure I got it right. Forever Taylor. Dang. But props to Fatima for being there for her man. That was probably my favorite part of the episode. Fatima being supportive, which led to Zach being the anchor during the scene with Aaron. Because let's be real, I don't think there's ever been a scene outside of like the baby shower or whatever where Zach and Aaron are together and Zach doesn't fly off instantly. He was the one that brought Aaron down. And then when he took over that prayer, it's like, hey, you can't hang up on God. So I think they did a great job like injecting just the right amount of comedy in the Zach scenes. Because, you know, it's the fact that this is the Zach and Fatima. Look, if you are familiar with my Zatima commentary and the way I've been going in season 3 of Zatima and whatnot, that's because they're the dynamic of the relationship is just so awkward. What we saw today was peak Zatima, supportive, understanding, patient. That's what I'm talking about. It's just the nonsense of the Fatima, do as I say, not as I do. I need to process things. It's listening and being present. Those are the elements that I feel I've been missing from their couple dynamic for quite some time. And I'm not the only one that feels that way. Then the other one just, you know, looking at him and not moving at all. Like he's going to forever picture his dead daughter. That's huge. That is huge. Because like I've said, leading up to this event for a long time, you know, with Michael, that's a kid he never even knew existed for 3+ years. You know, I add plus because of the 9 months. So he wasn't there. Then when he finally gets the chance to be in the room during a birth, that baby dies. So how did they know? They said they tested. They did clarify that they tested. They were able to get a test done quickly to determine. Also, I didn't like how the girls piled up on Sabrina and Andy, because I'm like, yep, they're doing how they usually do when Danny asks a question. Somebody did mention this, and I was thinking the same thing. Why didn't Andy or Sabrina hit like the button? What do you call it? Like the panic button or whatever at the hospital? Yeah, because he did hold her too. Yeah. Obviously, you know, we know the baby with Fatima is a blessing, but obviously, for obvious reasons, he's not going to see that in a moment. I don't know why. I just want to ignore the rich crap, the Rich and Sabrina crap. Mabel, that's exactly why I don't like the scene. Annie was telling Sabrina about Preston. They completely omit the bits where they're the reason for what happening. Sabrina told the story like Rich cheated on her. You broke up with him. You were bringing his things to the shop to officially end it. And then she's going to get in her feelings about Penelope knowing about, you know, the Damani's sperm for her procedure. So it's okay for you to tell everybody about Rich's sperm not being viable because of him being like a sickle cell carrier. But Rich telling someone about Damani is the worst thing you could ever do. And then even worse than I know, Mignon played that scene when she was on the phone with Rich, because it was honestly, in my opinion, stupid that he's still calling it. And like, what exactly are you going to explain? And people, look, I will get back to the Karen stuff. I just want to get this Rich and Sabrina stuff out the way. quick, fast, and hurry. And I promise you, we are going back to the main stuff we actually care about. But, Danny talking about, I want to make an anonymous call to like the health code office to, tell them about your activities and yada, yada, yada. And I'm thinking, Danny, are you going to ruin another man's career based on your own actions? First, it was Tony. I can't believe this slow Sabrina literally said, hey, it might be kind of romantic if, Tony gives up his career for you. That would be dumb as hell. Okay. So all I'm saying, look, Sabrina has every right not to talk to Rich, but the problem is, Sabrina, the next time you see Rich out and he's with Penelope or another woman, don't trip. You have nothing to trip about. Let it go. Okay, we're done with that. I don't want to talk about that bull crap anymore. That was the worst part of the episode. Let's focus on the good stuff. All right, let me get back to these chats. Also, we got over 200 people, only 40 thumbs up. Hit the like button. Go ahead. All right. He shouldn't have told Penelope. Who cares? I have a feeling Zach is going to spiral out of control. Oh, yeah, it's understandable. I don't want him to, but I get it. Zach and Karen both going to go through it. Yeah. I'm not saying they need to be together, but I think for obvious reasons, and it has nothing to do with a relationship, but the fact that, how to properly say goodbye. I don't know if they're going to have a service or a funeral or whatever. It's just, I don't know. I hope everything goes well with Fatima. Yeah, we need at least one good childbirth in this series. I believe it's the same writers. Danny was just trying to inject comedy by saying, "Oh, she got Zach's big old head." I don't know if she's well, to be fair, Karen and Aaron aren't even like a couple. It's like they're just seeing each other, so to speak. Like, no, for real, like they never really defined what they were. It's just that Aaron is there, and I guess they had sex that one time, but for whatever reason, Miss Lisa's acting like Karen's a teenager and she's a grown-ass woman having relations with one of her baby daddies. So I don't really know what the problem is. Vincent, I wouldn't rule Gary out just yet. I feel like once we get out of the hospital, all hell's about to break loose. I gave the episode an 8 out of 10. Yeah, that was my favorite part. Zach and Aaron scene. I cannot remember if Andy mentioned Penelope slapping her. Obviously, Fatima knew. Yeah, loss, depression, and postpartum at the same time. This is going to be crazy work. And like I said, I just really hate that they got to set up Pam to be the person that sets Karen off. Like, obviously, it took probably everybody to get her out of the hospital in one piece. Now she's about to go home, and well, Pam is right there. Yeah, her and Zach are definitely going through it. Yeah, Gary's not gone. It's just that I love how they are not force feeding him into the show when this is clearly not the time. Clearly not the time. When will Fatima start showing? I'm not going to hold you. We know that in Zatima season 4, September 11th is when that show comes back. She should be showing. I believe there were behind the scenes of her for Baby Bump. But in terms of Sisters, I have no idea. Who do you think relationships out of Sisters having the most drama? I couldn't tell you. They're all full of drama and full of crap. Yeah, I'm still wondering why they didn't tell Pam. I agree. These modern day chicks take accountability for nothing. Oh yeah, shout out to Dr. Vaughn, real MVP. I loved how professional he was. Obviously, he didn't have the best news to deliver, but he did it in the most, soothing way possible for the sake of his patient and her friends. And that's another thing. I liked how Dr. Vaughn kept that same level of, understanding and patience with both Karen and the girls. Lord, I hope they don't do that crap where she's in denial. Yeah, great bedside manner. I agree. I agree. Yeah, if nothing else, Zach definitely needs a Dr. Reed session after all this because and the next episode is like Fatima says, look, you almost got killed and you lost your daughter. Like you can't just be okay after that. But obviously, Zach wants to be broken right now, and that's understandable. Okay, let me just check my notes because on how did you feel about how they structured like the back half of the episode? Honestly, I was pissed off when Miss Lisa came out. Not pissed off at her, but when the girls had that moment of, okay, I will admit it was sweet to see them all together, but let's not. Well, it was not the right time, but as a fan, it's like let's not undercut the fact that Karen has been a real bitch. Fatima's like, yeah, we've had our hard times and this, that, and the third. Fatima, it was never you. But like I said, it wasn't the right time for that. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, Miss Lisa comes out, and I'm like, they better not go to commercial break. And dang it, they did. I'm like, you mother. They went to commercial break. Then they come back from commercial, and people are had it. BET spoiled it. It wasn't my fault. BET spoiled that crap with that article last week. And I wonder if they're going to do the same thing tomorrow where they drop an article spoiling what's happening next week. But then again, it really doesn't matter since the main plot point of the pregnancy is over. But yeah, they set it up where the girls are talking and Zach is crashing out. So it's like, did Karen die? Did a baby die? That was an interesting way to do it. How do you know? Michelle, they stated in the show, they took an immediate test. They were able to do it like that. That's the power of plot. Like when we wanted to know who the baby daddy was, they stretched that shit out for years. But when it comes to a stillborn, oh, we'll have that off screen in 3 seconds. Yeah, I hope Andy sues the hell out of the hospital. I mean, yeah, this is tough. I mean, Karen lost the daughter and also the daughter that was her last tether to Zach. So yeah, I have no idea. I hope she don't go backwards because it's like they said, you still have one baby girl that you need to be strong for. So we'll just have to wait and see. Gamer Boy, I have no thoughts on the Oval right now. I have no idea what the future of the Oval is right now. I just know that it was starting to suck before it went on hiatus. Also, Tyler Perry posted that apparently he finished a script for Why Did I Get Married Again? And he tagged all the cast. So it seems like this movie is going to happen. Probably a 2026 release or something. Yeah, unfortunately, Zach is going to lash out at somebody. Oh, yeah, if it was Aaron's, look, I hate to say it. I'm not saying Karen would not be upset if it was Aaron's baby, but I feel like it's quite clear she would not care as much. And I know that is an awful thing to say, but based off the Karen we have seen throughout the duration of the entire show, I bet if she had to pick one, it would have been Zach. I know that's a bad thing to say, but I ain't lying, man. I ain't lying. So technically, Zach still only has one because Michael is alive. Forever Taylor sadly died, and Fatima's still pregnant. So he has another one on the way, but Look, given that we're in Tyler Perry universe, you never know. I'm very curious to see what the writers plan to do with Karen. Like, let's be real, Ebony's going to act the hell out of whatever script she gets. But I'm really interested to see the Karen who's lashing out. She's obviously dealing with a whole bunch of emotions right now. So, yeah, she did say Forever Taylor. I don't really know what kind of name that is, but I think it makes sense in the context of she passed away. So, Forever Taylor. Part of me felt like there was what's that phrase, a double entendre, like Forever Taylor, as in forever connected to Zach, or I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Also, will she tell Zach the name of that baby? All the child support issues are resolved. Oh, I hate it to laugh, but you're not wrong. Oh, they showed the promo. Hey, somebody send it to me. Actually, let me check on. I haven't even checked Twitter since the episode stopped. Maybe somebody sent it to me. Still attached to Zach. Nah, ain't nobody sent it to me yet. I'm really confused with how they're advertising Sisters. Like they aren't doing any clips. They aren't giving us any pictures. Nothing. They're just dropping these episodes. Yeah, they showed the promo. I'm talking about social media. Yeah, see, let's break it down. That article I did a video on last week, it said at the end of this episode, we know Zach's baby died, and Karen will be holding the baby named Faith. That's the name of her baby with Aaron. But the article got it wrong. Come on, Rich going to barge in Sabrina's? Please, God, no. Now I don't even want to see the dang promo. Hang on, I'm just I'm checking my messages. I'm seeing if anybody sent me that trailer. Nah. Hang on, let me check Zach. Oh, somebody sent it. Somebody sent it.
Sorry to disappoint you. This wasn't Dr. Cruz's first time playing with the patient's life. What? Tyler Perry's.
Oh, first of all, Andy's rocking the short hair starting next week. It looks like Sabrina's in her office with Maurice, and then Rich comes in. Bro, why are you here? Nobody cares. Go away. Go away. Pineapple. Y'all crazy. Based on the trailer for this season and the song is giving final season, you do know there is a season 10, right? Yeah, Zach lashing out. Oh, God. Man, oh, man. I don't know what to say. But let me just check the notes. Honestly, I feel like I discussed the episode top to bottom. Like I said, it was pretty self-contained because we were in the hospital the whole time. Not a bad thing, just an observation. Oh, yeah, we briefly did go over to the juice bar. Also, why is Rich still at the juice bar in uniform? I thought he had closed the shop. Well, then again, he must be in there cleaning up. Yeah, that was pretty much the episode. Why did they show her holding the stillborn? What about the other baby? I'm surprised they did that too. It was a sweet scene, but I don't really know how the next episode is going to open up. Yeah, that's the one thing I will say. The fans are definitely, you know, giving Tyler and the writers props for using their platform to discuss such a vital situation involving Black women in healthcare. Zach attack. Yeah, it was a beautiful scene for closure. And I love that Karen wanted her girls there too. Do you see any characters dying this season? We just had a death. I don't really think we need another one. Well, technically, two. They confirmed Jasmine died, and they confirmed that Zach lost his baby. Yeah, I was wondering the same thing if they'll have like a funeral or like a brief repass or something. I don't know how they're going to handle it. Not making jokes, but I bet that funeral is going to be a lot less than child support. So, yeah, because I mean, let's not forget Zach been hurting for some money, and like I said, if I were him, I'd go to Gary like, look, I still save your miserable life, so you better run back that money you owe me. Yeah, because we know he's on the phone with Andy talking about Dr. Cruz. Yeah, that's why I said Rich must be in the shop cleaning up what he and Penelope were doing. Danny got some nerve talking about snitching to the health inspector, and it's like, let's not forget what you and Rich be doing in his office and at your countertop. Let's not forget that. Gary has PTSD. Yeah, he's probably going to be in shock. I mean, this is very heavy when you think about it. A lot of characters are dealing with the aftermath of what occurred the night before. Well, in the next episode, one to the next day, like Gary seeing his ex-wife get murdered and him and Andy almost get murdered, Andy dealing with near death, Zach dealing with almost dying, and then his child dying, and Karen almost dying. There's a lot going on. And then, even though I don't give a F, Sabrina, whatever. Oh, yeah. Also, I wonder if Tony will tell Danny, if he's moving or not. Honestly, like, I don't care. I don't. I just wish they would just get rid of these characters. They serve zero purpose. I don't know why they're still around. When did Rich and Danny start getting on? Huh? Yeah, it's stupid that Rich is still chasing her. Tony has no reason to stay. For real. I agree. That's something that these women would do. Sabrina only broke up with Rich to get back at him for ghosting her. And now that he moved on, she's butthurt over it. If I listed out the number of characters who should have been gone, there'd only be like 3 or 4 left. Oh, I accidentally said Rich. See, that shows how little I give a crap. Danny still has unfinished business. Not, I mean, she was the one that gave Tony the ultimatum: decide by tomorrow. I would have been gone with that. Like, you know what? Bump it. I love how she slipped up and, well, for a brief moment, she took accountability. I wouldn't want to see him lose his career and whatnot because of me. Well, actually, because, well, it wasn't my fault. It I'm not blaming Danny directly because at the end of the day, HR was the one that goofed up because they didn't get both sides of the story. They just got Leonard's side and then axed Danny. They should have talked to both parties. Tony just got reassigned because HR wanted to place the blame on someone. Who are the three most meaningless characters right now? Penelope, Tony, and Rich. He's the one that said try the leadership role when she was cool being in her position. I don't want to get into it because I've done like 20 plus videos ranting about it. At the end of the day, Tony effed up by using his authority to boot or get Danny into the program. Leonard being in his feelings about a program he was never accepted to in the first place made zero sense. Tammy, I ain't gonna hold you. Even though these opening episodes have been, for the most part, strong but not perfect, I just have that, I'm looking behind like, okay, when are these writers going to F up? When are they going to go back to the poor pacing, the bad character depictions? Like, it's going to happen. We know it's going to happen. You have high hopes. I'm not trying to damper on your parade. I'm just speaking as someone who has watched and reviewed every single episode, not to mention numerous other Tyler Perry shows. It's going to happen. I know it will. Jordan has been removed. Honestly, he has no purpose. Andy and him are officially done. His career's down the toilet. Robin got him out of jail. I mean, you could argue, wow, how would he react to finding out about Penelope and Rich? Who cares? Who do you think the doctor's taking on a date? Him and Danny had a brief moment when he mentioned he was bringing the meds to help ease the pain of Karen's burning sensation. The only quote unquote complaint is the Sabrina Rich crap. What did you rate? Oh, I gave it an 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10. Jordan is Penelope's brother. Yep. I think that's about it. I mean, yeah, that's all I really got. So I'll take a couple more comments if anybody has any questions or last minute things you want to discuss before we wrap it up. Yeah, hit the thumbs up button. Yeah, Danny and Dr. Vaughn. It was like a blink and you miss it moment where they kind of, chuckled with each other. That was it. Like, it was nothing major, but I'm like, foreshadowing. Obviously, Dr. Vaughn and Andy will have the most interaction working together on this case against Dr. Cruz. Yeah, Forever Taylor. Forever Taylor. That's the baby's name. I hope they don't drag this crap on, but they will because, like I said, Rich is going to pop up at the bank. Like, dude, go away, please. Do you miss Maurice, Hayden, or Tamara? I mean, Tamara for obvious reasons, but there's a clear bias there. Penelope's for the streets. Yep. Glad he was gone. Beyond glad. I low-key forgot about that because I remember theorizing that Rich got Sabrina pregnant, but no, there's no way she's pregnant by Rich, given the fact that she went through all this medical procedure crap already. They would have known. Plus, remember, there was a 1 month time jump. Watch Penelope be pregnant by Rich, but it will be Sabrina's loss. Oh, yeah, I said that too. I said, watch Penelope get pregnant, and then Sabrina is going to be in her feelings when it's like, no, you the one who opted not to. No, shut up. Karen's going to be annoying next week. Understandably upset. I will watch to see how the episode plays out. I mean, same with Zach. Same with Zach. I mean, it's understandable why they are going to be lashing out at people. But like I said, let's just wait and see. Are Karen's, I don't think it will be lashing out. It will be their grief. Well, oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like their grief is going to cause them to be, a bit more over the top. But like I said, it's understandable. It's not going to be easy to watch. It really won't, because, think about it. We've had 3 weeks to feel for these characters. And now it's going to be like lashing out, but you can understand why. Yeah, she's been by Zach's side through this entire thing. And I'm glad that I think it was Danny who took a moment just to check in with Fatima of all people, as well as the ladies thanking her for being there for Karen at this, random breaking of her water. Like Fatima just held it down, she really did. Zach going to have a meltdown. Yeah, you know what? I get Karen lashing out, but I'm going to feel even more upset about Fatima being on the receiving end of Zach's grief, considering, everything she did for Karen, when it mattered the most. I did see that statement. I am going to make a video for my other channel, My Kind of Entertainment, Ari Lennox. I understand her stance because she is a dark woman as well, dark-skinned woman, as well. I think what was missing though is that when we look at shows from back in the day, 60s, 90s, even the early 2000s, 2010s, looking through them with the eyes of 2025. Heck, I remember like for the past few years, it's crazy rewatching shows I grew up with. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, they couldn't get away with that episode today, or who that actor would people would be demanding this actor get canceled for the character they played in this show or whatever. My take on it is this. Martin and Pam had their back and forth banter, and it's easy to say, yo, Martin was out of pocket for, the disrespect towards dark-skinned women. The show was about downing dark skin and upping light skin like Gina. But the thing about it is, even though Martin had the roast for Pam, while angry about what they were saying about Martin, you forget Pam had clapbacks too. Now, to be fair though, her clapbacks were more so about like Martin's height and ears. But I could definitely see why Martin's comments about Pam, like her hair, that kind of stuff, that hurt more people than her cracking on Martin. But the thing about it is, the show's like what, 20, 30 years old at this point. What can you do? Like, don't get me wrong, I still enjoy the show, but and I can't tell other people how to feel about it. So I mean, like, I'm on the heavier side, but do I get butthurt when Jeffrey makes jokes about Uncle Phil's weight? No, I laugh. It's funny. But I mean, look, she can feel the way she feels. Oh, Archie Bunker will be removed. Fred Sanford too. Let's not act like Fred Sanford. I mean, look, Archie Bunker, George Jefferson, and Red Fox, as Sanford or Fred Sanford, some of the most bigoted people on screen. But this was at a time where people knew how to laugh, so it is what it is. And that's the thing, they had Martin and Pam damn near had the same complexion, and they made roast at each other. And not to mention, like I just said, Martin's roast felt like they were more about Pam from like her clothing and her hair, her breath. I don't really remember him saying a lot in regards to her complexion, but that's just me. All right. You look good, brother. Don't overthink it. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. I had a friend of mine like, bro, it's like, you're like, what, 15 or so pounds heavier than the last time I saw you 8 years ago. Like, don't worry about it. Because I was, look, at my heaviest, I was a 3X. I'm like at a mid 2X, well, a 2X, but like the middle tier. Like, you know, I can wear 3Xs and they're roomy. And since it's summer, like, you know, around this time of day when I'm just lounging around the house, I'll wear a 3X just because it's roomy and, you know, it's cooler. So, yeah, today's world is just too sensitive. It really is. But yeah, like, you know, I'm not really down for, you know, oh, canceling this show or that show because, you know, it's offensive or whatnot. It's like most things, let's be real, are a product of their time. And I'll leave it at that. I enjoy Martin, except for that final season. Well, honestly, I wasn't really feeling Martin when they opted to take him off the radio and have him do like a TV show or have his own show. I didn't like that. Martin is still the funniest show. Yeah, I think the when you look at Fresh Prince, that has like a narrative, like a story arc. Martin is like you watch that for laughs, straight up laughs. That doesn't give me, don't get me wrong, there is continuity, but that's the show. Like Martin, I'll put that on if I just want to laugh. Fresh Prince, well, the first 3 seasons with the first Aunt Viv. After that, the show just kind of felt, it wasn't bad, but if I had a choice, I would always rewatch episodes from the first 3 seasons before new Aunt Viv came. I'm not saying, you know, second Aunt Viv ruined the show. It's just that the show just felt awkward afterwards, disjointed. No need to cancel. Just don't watch what you don't like. Thank you. Just don't watch it. Just don't watch it. Just checking my inbox once again, see if there are any updates. Nah, nothing. But I did see the 15-second promo. You know me, I'll wait. I'll do my trailer breakdown once we get the full 30-second promo. Oh, yeah, tomorrow is the last day of the month. Can you believe that? We're about to go into August on Friday. Good gosh. I did not know that the part of Pam was supposed to be an unattractive, overweight woman. The producers didn't think she fit the part. She was too funny. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Martin felt like more adult, whereas Fresh Prince felt like a family show. And it makes sense. I mean, you look at the ensemble cast. I know that's right. You know, Ari, if nothing else, put Martin back in circulation. You know, that's not to say Martin ever fell out the limelight, but it was moments like that that gave the show a boost. I love watching those compilation videos where it's like Martin and Pam's best roast against each other. And low key, I ain't gonna hold you. There were times where I felt more chemistry between Martin and Pam than Martin and Gina. That's not to say Martin and Gina didn't have chemistry, but you know what? How, you know, Ari was looking at the show as being offensive. I look back at Martin and I'm just like, man, Martin and Gina didn't have any business being together whatsoever. Martin was, you know, sexist. He was egotistical. Obviously, you know, felt a woman's place was at, you know, in the kitchen. Like, what was it when Gina got that promotion and she was making more money than him? It was like a toxic romance. But the thing is, the same could be said about Dwayne and Whitley from A Different World. And I remember, honestly, I feel like I liked Tisha Campbell more as Jay in My Wife and Kids than Gina from Martin. I mean, we kind of got off topic because I there's nothing else to say about Sisters. I covered the episode from top to bottom. And these are what the live, if you're like not a frequent viewer of my live streams, like they'll start off on topic, but like sometimes we can get through an episode of Sisters in like 20 minutes. And then from there, it's like I open the floor to comments and we, you know, go on other tangents. Dragonfly Jones. I've been seeing people say that Divorced Sisters comes back tomorrow. We'll find out in a few hours. I know I'm going to be asleep, but we'll find out. I wonder who told Pam that Karen was at the hospital. I have no idea. I think maybe Aaron. If I were to just take an educated guess, I think Aaron probably did. But then again, if Aaron did, I don't think that he would omit that one of the babies passed. Opposites attract from Martin and Gina. If you never see the first episode, go watch it. You'll be in tears. Is it like a YouTube series or something? I don't know. Was it sad too? Are you referring to Sisters? Yeah, it was a sad episode. Where was Aaron's hospital connection? Probably lost in the chaos. Karen said the baby's name was Forever Taylor. Forever Taylor. I mean, I can't say I miss If Loving You Is Wrong. It's just that I wish they had a proper finale. Tragic. Tragic. Fresh Prince is more family oriented. Yep. Adults roasting each other. Honestly, I thought she said fairy tale too. I had to go back 3 times and then I'm like, I'll just ask him during the live stream and I won't say what I thought I heard because I'm like, fairy tale Taylor? Nah. I was crying with Zach. Yeah, the actors pulled out all the stops tonight and it showed. It showed. Just another soap on OWN. Okay, I'll Google it. Turn off your honest opinion on Destination Wedding. It was a fun movie. Does it have flaws? Yeah, but as a movie that I thoroughly enjoyed from start to finish, I loved it. That's it. Was just wondering what started that discussion. I don't know, random comment. Because I mentioned around like the 22-minute mark, I said, folks, I pretty much described the episode already. If the Oval comes back for another season, do you think it'll go out with a bang? I have no idea what they plan on doing. I mean, I don't even know what's up the lawsuit because what I saw earlier today, Shannon Sharp got cut from ESPN. He settled and then boom. So I don't know when or if we will hear anything else pertaining to the Derek Dixon case. No clue. I just know at this point, Tyler's still doing his thing. He's still pumping out the content. No, I don't watch the have and have nots on Tubi. I'm not like done with the show. It's just I rarely have a need to revisit it. So plus I still talk with some of the cast. So I mean, to me, that's like my link to the series. What did Karen say the baby's name was? Forever Taylor. Forever Taylor. if Robin's in this season or not. I don't know. It's just weird how Tyler or whoever decided what characters who would get the boot versus Rich and Tony and all that other bull crap. She gave the baby. Yeah, I think that was sweet that she gave the baby the name Taylor. I'm just on Twitter seeing what the people are saying. Yeah. Okay, I'll take a few more comments and then wrap things up. I honestly don't really have anything else to say. Gary's still in shock. Yeah, Forever Taylor. I don't know about Faith. We didn't get to see Faith. Indigo, they mentioned that the doctors did an immediate test to determine what twin died. So they did it off screen. I already gave you my opinion. I enjoyed the movie. Okay, folks. Well, that is all I have for today. We had a good time. Hopefully next week is going to be frustrating. I don't mean that in like a dismiss the entire episode already, but just know that we're going to have to deal with both Zach and Karen in their funk, dealing with grief and lashing out at folks. We got to deal with Rich and Sabrina BS. But here we go. All right. Well, as always, make sure you thumbs up the video. My review trailer breakdown. I'm going to wait, though. I got to see if they drop the 30-second teaser for next week tomorrow. So I know 15-second one, but we'll wait and see. All right. Well, take care and see y'all in August.